Hello everyone, Joe Morton here for this edition of Positive In, a YouTube channel dedicated to putting positive into our lives each and every day so positive can flow out in all the roles that we play. So, here's something that I want to talk about is belief. Do you believe? I heard this in a song recently that was looped over and over and over, and it was just saying, do you believe, do you believe, do you believe? It was a Bob Marley song actually. And I thought, do you believe? Got me thinking a lot about it, and I've been reading a lot of books lately on this subject alone. Do you believe? Now, belief, we have multiple different versions of what it means, the definition. Of course, when looking up belief, you're going to find religious belief, a belief in God. Okay, let's focus on another. It's a verb, first of all, action. To have faith, confidence, or trust. And then it uses a little line. I believe in your ability to solve the problem. I believe in your abilities. Okay, so what holds us back? Do you believe? I want you to think about that. Now, we read a great book by a Dr. Bruce Lipton, who I happened to just read an article on him. He's a former professor of medicine at Stanford University, Dr. Bruce Lipton. He wrote this incredible book called The Biology of Belief. Again, I've been reading a lot about this and studying it up quite a lot lately. What's interesting is I'm reading another book right now called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Guess what? Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this exact thing. And the more books that I read on this, the more everyone's just saying very similar things, which is, it seems, and he writes in this article, it seems the unconscious mind is running us as if on autopilot mode 95% of the time. So basically what he and other experts are saying is 95% of what we do, our actions, are unconscious, they're subconscious, they've been programmed in there. He says the subconscious mind cannot move outside its fixed programs. It automatically reacts to situations with its previously stored behavioral responses. Now I want you to think about that. What does he mean by that? Every one of us, each one of us have been programmed, 95% of it since birth. From the families we lived in, from the neighborhoods, the schools that we attended, the sports that we played or didn't play, or even were on the team but maybe didn't play, the things that coaches said to us, the things that teachers said to us, the things that our neighbors said to us, our parents, our churches that we went to, our schools that we attended, all over. Where we lived, the movies we watched, the television shows we watched or didn't watch, all this programs us to see the world in a certain way, and we react to things in a certain way. And what's interesting is, like he says here, it's programmed in there, and we don't even realize that we're on autopilot mode. So you might say, I want to accomplish this dream, I want to accomplish this, but what we don't realize is we have this inner struggle of 95% of us, whatever has been programmed into this amazing computer called the subconscious mind, this amazing computer, it remembers everything. And what we've been programmed, and it locks us in. Some experts say as early as 6 years old, we're locked into a way we see the world. And if you're wanting to accomplish X, you might be saying it, but it's easy to quit. It's easy to quit because we have things in our subconscious mind that have been programmed in there to help us make decisions. And so we quit, and we don't even really quite realize why. We were excited at one point, we were motivated, we were inspired at one point, we start down the road and then fizzle out. It's because of this. But he says here, the new science of epigenetics has shown that our genes are in fact controlled and manipulated by how our minds perceive and interpret our environment. It was formerly believed by science that it is our genes themselves which dictates our traits, that our genes form who and how we are. The new findings are great news because it means that we can change many things about the way we are, including our health, by changing how we interpret events and situations which happens to us. So what he's saying here is it's learned, so therefore it can be unlearned. So I want to cover a couple points. I don't want to just think, oh my gosh, subconsciously I can never change anything. That's not what I'm saying. My excitement here is this, it can be changed. Because it's been learned, it can be unlearned. But because it's been going on for so long with us, we have to recognize that it takes time, so be patient. That's point number one. It's learned, therefore it can be unlearned, but be patient. Be patient with the process. So all too often people get back into exercise, they've been out of shape for 15, 20 years and they just start going and it doesn't work on the first 3 days. They're like, forget this exercise. I'm not going to do this. It's not worth it. Well, give it a bit of time. It's the same with our mind. You got to recognize that unless we've been really, truly trying to put positive in and trying to change the programming, it's going to take some time, but be patient with it. It was learned, therefore it can be unlearned. Okay? So what can be done? Number 1, be patient. Number 2, take 5. I've talked about this. The reason why I talk about gratitude, love, being present, feeding our minds consistently before you get to dreams. I do this for a reason before we get to this point, because we have to change really the way we are looking at the world. As we see the world with gratitude, as we see the world with love, as we go through this process each and every day, we start to see the world differently. It doesn't happen immediately. It can be very quick in some ways, but it just takes a bit of time. The more we express gratitude, the more we express love for that around us, the more we start to see the world differently. And we start to say, oh, and we start to make decisions out of love and out of gratitude versus being reactionary and acting like as if we don't even really quite know how we did that. We just say, wow. Or we become angry and people say, I don't know what came over me. Or we make a decision and we just say, I don't know what came over me. No longer, as time goes on, I'm not going to say it's going to be overnight, but as time goes on, we start to see the world just a little differently. And suddenly, one day, there was a beautiful movie I was watching recently called Tomorrowland, where the actress in it, the young girl, she's with her father, and every time she touches this coin, she takes her into a different world. And she starts to see this different world and different reality. And she says, Dad, did you see this? And he says, no, I don't know what you're talking about. We start to do this. We start to be happy. We go, whoa, and we're happy. We're like, did you not see that? And people are, I don't know about that. What? Did you watch the news? No, we didn't watch the news. Because no longer, we're changing the coding. We're changing the programming in here. And over time, things just start to happen. We start to notice things that we've never noticed before. We start to notice beauty in life. We start to notice beauty in each other. And the wonderful, wonderful attributes that each one of us come into this world with and that we lead with. We start to see beauty in ourselves because our belief systems, down deep, start to change. The chemistry starts to shift. And we start to see ourselves truly as a divine being with great unlimited potential. We start to see ourselves truly for who we are and what we can accomplish. And dreams become a little easier to accomplish. We don't want to quit so much anymore. We start to be happy. We start to have more compassion for other people. Sound like something you want? Oh, it's possible. It's possible. You can have it. It's within you. Each one of us has it within us. We just have to start changing the programming a little bit. Decode. And start to see the world from different glasses, from a different perspective. And as we go through gratitude each and every day, as we go through love each and every day, we start to see our belief system start to change. As we read positive information each and every day, our belief systems start to change. In this book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which is really what this is all about, talking about. Subconsciously, you have to change that subconscious way that we're looking at the world. He says in here, the observer effect in quantum physics states that where you direct your attention is where you place your energy. So now we start to change our attention. We start to change our attention to gratitude. We start to change our attention to love. We start to change our attention to the positives out there. And we start to read other people's amazing stories. And we learn what it takes to bring that brand to market. Or we learn what that person had to go through in order to become who they were, who we admire. We start to realize, wow, it's a process. And I can be patient. They were patient. I can be patient to accomplish my dreams. We start to focus differently. As a consequence, you affect the material world, is what he says. If you entertain that idea, even for a moment, you might start focusing on what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. That's what we're trying to accomplish. And then the belief systems start to change from, I wish I had, I wish I were happy, I wish I had a better relationship, I wish I could accomplish that dream, to, I am happy, I am abundance, I am joy, I am a great husband or a great wife, I am a great father or a great mother, I am a great business owner, or I am. And we start to act in belief. Do you believe? You start to say, I am. And words of the great sages and great teachers of the past start to ring just a little more true, where I had read this so many times in the past, and then reading it again when Jesus Christ said, therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Believe that ye receive them. I am abundance. I am happy. I am a divine being. I am prosperity. And we start to see the world differently. And we say, did you see that? And people may not see it at first, but like Marianne Williamson says in her book, Return to Love, as we start to act in this way, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. We unconsciously give others permission to do the same. We start affecting the material world around us. And it's very real. And I invite you into this world. Thank you for listening to this edition of Positive In. And I invite you to have the best day yet. Thank you.